Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Back today. Hope you guys are having a great week. And we're going to be going with about, I would say, 4 videos a day. Try to really crank those out. Sorry, I'm coming out of, not really sick, but sore throat, so might be a little bit difficult talking. But we'll get through this. So today we're going to be talking, so with this article, we're going to talk about how Democrats are reacting to inflation reaching new heights, and how they're affecting you people. I'll have both ways of doing this as well, with specifically with the whole gas situation, which we all know that, but there will be more information coming out that I'll be later posting today that will be kind of explaining what the actual serious situation is. So, without further ado, here's how Democrats reacted to inflation reaching new highs. Amid news of inflation reaching another record high, Democrats are circling their wagons around legislation meant to crack down on corporations purportedly engaged in price gouging. Which is not the corporations, actually. It's just due to the actual, like they said, inflation. Again, the Democrats are absolutely refusing to acknowledge their actual problems. They don't want to blame themselves, and they'll go as far to say it's like, oh, it's Trump, even though we have stats and reports saying that even back in the Trump era, or even when Biden was in office before all this, it was nowhere near this bad. It just started to increase and get worse over time, and this is a situation that we're in, and I think we're going to be seeing maybe a little bit of social decay, and you'll probably find that out after the one article that I read to you, because it's getting to this point. The consumer price rose 8.6% between May 2021 and May 2022, meaning that inflation reached its highest levels in 4 decades. A Friday morning report from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics revealed the new figure was worse than Dow Jones' estimate of 8.3% year over year inflation in May, according to CNBC. As inflation has continued to soar over the past several months, progressives have placed the blame on businesses. Although most social media accounts for Democratic members of the Senate discussed the January 6th protest hearings on Friday morning while remaining silent about inflation, 2 lawmakers, Senator Amy Klobuchar and then Elizabeth Warren, called for Congress to pass or prefer legislation in the interest of slashing prices. That's another thing I think Democrats are doing. The Democrats are doing 2 things here with this whole January 6th hearing, and at least 2 things. And I think what they're actually doing here is, 1, to divert people's attention from the actual inflation, which is literally actual inflation and the gas prices and the things going up, which is literally impossible. You can't do that. Because even if they're watching it and whatever they're doing, even if they're at the store, they'll see like their food being more expensive, or if they're at the gas pump where they're having to pay more at the gas pump, and they're not going to really care about the January 6th hearings, because again, we had it where last year where Trump was being impeached, and we as America all saw that Donald Trump was being falsified against. He was essentially being defamation in this sense. So it's a huge problem. And a lot of the things that they're putting in the January 6th hearings, which I think very brief of it. If you guys actually want me to view this January 6th hearings, like stream and record it and kind of see my reactions to it, I'll gladly do that. I have no problem. I cannot give my legal analysis, but I can at least put my political opinion onto it if you guys so desire. But again, they're taking a lot of things out of context and manufacturing a lot of things that has been going on. And I will probably be doing videos probably next week, kind of showing exactly and how the Democrats are specifically they're being caught that they're forming the theatrical theater caught by Project Veritas, where they confirm this, because this is what is kind of what's happening here. And issues. But back to the actual main topic, is that one reason, like I said, that the reason why they're holding this is to try to keep people's minds off of the actual inflation and the prices, etc. Try to get the people's minds off that. The second thing that they're doing is that they're, again, trying to put blame on Trump, which is part of this second part, and blaming a certain party or a certain group of people wrong for doing it. There's two sides of the actual January 6th protest that actually happened. Okay, we have one side of the place where there is people rioting and committing crimes, which is a problem. That's an issue. And then there is another side, which the FBI or the people were letting people in. This has been shown on camera. They're not going to show that because that would not fit their narrative. So again, they're trying to confuse and lie to people to show that this side is wrong, this side is evil, we need to go after them, rather than being, that's not how everything happened. And I'm hoping that when this supposedly red wave is coming, and hopefully it does, is that the Republicans will come out with their own type of hearing and paint another side of the story. And this will completely contradict on what the Democrats are trying to point out. So, again, this is things that the Democrats are doing. Don't listen to these people. Don't listen to these communists. They're evil, and they're actually trying to destroy you. Now, I will clarify again. I am talking about the Democrats that are in power, right? I'm talking about the Democrats that have these that are in the Senate and are in the Congress, and these are the people I'm talking about. The normal, everyday Democrats that I particularly see, or that would want to label them the Democrats, these people are not the same. And I also believe they would want the truth to come out. And honestly, I think the Democrats of today that are, sane and not completely ludicrous are people that are just being lied to. I don't think they're actually being shown anything. A lot of the times when I see Democrats or people coming out and speaking of these things, is that the Democrats are specifically there. The Democrats are for this stuff are actually being lied to, and that's what I don't like. I don't care if you're really Democrat or whatever, but I would like you to at least know the facts that you're talking about or whatever. And it comes to the realization that a lot of them don't know facts. They don't really know what's actually happening because they won't listen to any other types of media that they don't listen to, or they're not shown different types of media to people to themselves that paints another side of the story. And I have seen multiple cases to where this is just not tends to be more true than reality. And then you have also lunatics like Hassan Abi, which is is a whole different ball of wax. Klobuchar pointing toward a Thursday tweet from President Joe Biden that blames high prices on a handful of companies who control the market for shipping. Referred to her ocean shipping reform as a mechanism to prevent the firms from jacking up prices. Bipartisan bill with senators will help crack down on these multinational shipping conglomerates that are jacking up prices and finally help American businesses get a fair shot. Thanks for the support, President Biden, and to Republican and. Well, that's not the case because that's not going to help. Because again, the inflation is rising, and this is something that you are the cause for. If signed into law, the bill would render it harder for ocean carriers to unreasonably refuse goods ready to export at ports. According to Klobuchar's office, the legislation advanced through the Senate unanimously. Meanwhile, Warren landed Klobuchar's American Innovation and Choice Online Act, which, according to Warren, would promote competition and lower consumer prices by banning technology firms from favoring their own products. Again, this is not going to work because this won't increase. If anything, this might actually increase. This might actually increase it, and on top of that, they're going to automatically, regardless whether it lowers it or not, the prices are just going to go back to where they were before because of the fact that the inflation is still rising. When you have inflation, it's just everything's going to rise. That's the thing. Everything rises, and your dollar that you make doesn't increase. So again, that's not going to change really much anything. The nation's largest tech companies, such as Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google, have faced accusations of prioritizing their own products on their platforms, using their market power to edge out competitors and limiting consumers' choice. Senator Cory Booker said of the legislation last year, according to Klobuchar's office. Before it began to climb, inflation was 1.4% in January 21, according to Bureau of Labor Statistics, data. Over the past year and a half, Democrats have repeatedly emphasized the alleged role of corporations in rising prices. Ahead of Thanksgiving, for example, Warren blamed meat and poultry producers of price fixing, excessive consolidation, and plain old corporate greed as turkey prices rose, and called for the Department of Justice to take action. Lack of competition in the poultry industry is allowing these massive companies to squeeze both American consumers and farmers to fuel record corporate profits and payouts to shareholders. She argued, when companies have monopoly power as massive suppliers, they can jack up prices of the goods they sell. This is something that I would also agree with. This is happening a lot with the internet thing, the internet service provider, to where, okay, ISP, to where they're actively, there's some places they have full control. I know some in Humboldt, Suddenlink has a monopoly there, and they have the ability to drag whatever prices they have because they don't have anything else. You need competition in order to battle that. But again, this is not what's happening here, because again, I don't think these companies specifically are increasing prices because of corporate greed. I think they're actually increasing prices, one, to make ends meet, and two, because inflation, as I've been mentioning before. Warren, however, rejected the possibility that firms' prices increases are related to inflationary costs, even as reports indicated that the high price of corn feed was causing a modest decline in turkey production. More recently, New York Attorney General Letitia James, another Democrat, called on baby farmer retailers to stop overcharging for the scarce product. Again, that's not what's happening here. It's inflation. Yeah, they're trying to lie to you guys. Don't let them lie to you. We all know you guys are smarter than this. We're all smarter than this. Don't let them lie to you. You know what's actually hitting your pockets, what's actually hitting your bank account and stuff like that. You know what's making your life difficult. So don't let them lie to you. It's unquestionable, okay, well, I apparently cannot read, that some retailers are taking advantage of the national baby formula shortage while parents are struggling to find food for their children, she said. Amid this crisis, families already have enough to worry about and should not have to worry about being price gouged. We are warning all retailers that New York will not tolerate price gouging of baby formula and encourage anyone who sees this to continue reporting to my office. Of course, we have some things here that will be proving some of these guys a bit wrong, and so we know, if people are watching my videos, people already know that inflation is going up. We know that it's been the highest level for decades, which we can view here, and how this is all increasing. Now, food at home and all that stuff, look at all this, normal, and now this is all going up. In 2022, it's all going up. It's reaching very high levels. So, I'll be putting this in here as well for you guys to actually view. So, don't worry about that. And then we will have specifically here, and we have ocean shipping format, which we'll get to see here, which will kind of show you guys everything that's been going on as well. Congestion at the ports, which again I would say is by Biden. Although I have heard from a trucker, which I would not mind. May want to get his opinion on it as well. Kind of get more information. Is that it's been like this before Trump? So both during and before Trump. So I would like to get his opinion on this. And not to mention, if anybody wants to come on and kind of explain their opinions from and what they're dealing with the trucker or whatever in your position of power, just let me know. You can contact my email, and I'll get back to you, and we can form some type of interview or whatever to kind of get your own opinion and your actually and what's actually affecting you. Because again, the only way we can actually combat things and fix things in this country, and try to find better ways, is to talk to each other and to find ways on how we can fix the issues and what issues are actually prevailing, which the Democrats preferably just don't want to do. They rather put laws into place and stuff like that, and blame other people besides themselves, rather than actually trying to figure out and talk to people and fix the issues. So, again, well, that's it for the video, guys. Like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.